Hello and welcome to AWS Certified DevOps course. In this video, we are going to discuss continuous integration and continuous delivery principle. So this basically resides on the DevOps principle. So actually these terms continuous integration and continuous delivery does not belong to DevOps. They are basically the terms from agile methodology of software development. So it has been used in DevOps because it was very much required and it's following the same principle of agile methodology. So CI and CD principles basically tells about the automating things and define infrastructure as a code. So in AWS, almost everything is like a code. So we are deploying servers, that is a code. We can use CloudFormation template, that is a code. We need to create a stack. We can use Elastic Beanstalk for application, for running our application. That is also like very much like automating things, because you need to just upload your code files, your application configurations, and it will run the application with all the minimal requirements, all the infrastructure requirements. It will do the job. So all most of the things are likely automated in AWS infrastructure. So that is why this CI and CD principles are very much relevant to AWS infrastructure. The third is store application infrastructure code in version control. So version control, as we discussed in the previous video, is very important, because whatever the changes that we are going to make in the current code, that need to be versioned, so that if something goes wrong with the code deployment, we will be knowing that which code has had issues and we can quickly resolve it. The fourth thing is unify the application in the infrastructure. So this is like we are bringing the application and the infrastructure on the same page by integrating them with the code. So this is another great thing about DevOps and CI/CD principles. And another thing is performing end-to-end automated testing. So as we discussed, the testing will be done automatically, and we just need to use some tools, and everything will be a feedback system. So at each step we'll be getting the feedback whether this code worked properly or not, and whether is any errors we are getting, so we can fix that issue at the same time of deployment. So these are the great things that CI and CD principles provide. Apart from this, like DevOps focuses heavily on establishing a collaborative culture and improving efficiency through automation with DevOps tools. While some organizations and people tend to value one more than the other, the reality is it takes a combination of both culture and tools to be successful. So, DevOps culture is characterized by increased collaboration, decreased silos, shared responsibility, autonomous teams, improving quality, valuing feedback, and increasing automation. Many of the DevOps values are agile values, as DevOps is an extension of agile. So agile methods are more holistic way of delivering software. Agile developments teams measure progress in the terms of working software. Product owners, developers, testers, and UX people work closer together with the same goals. DevOps is just adding the operations mindset and maybe a team member with some of those responsibilities into the agile team. Whereas before, DevOps progress is measured in terms of working software, with DevOps, progress is measured in terms of working software in the customer hand. To achieve this, development and operations must break down the silos and collaborate with one another, share responsibility for maintaining the systems that runs the software, and prepare the software to run on the system with increased quality feedback and delivery automation. So when we talk about infrastructure as a code, we are basically dealing with three terms: repeatability, agility, auditing, and security. So repeatability means like if we are deploying the same infrastructure, you can say same kind of infrastructure again and again, it's kind of repeating the things. So what we can do is we can create a code which will deploy the similar infrastructure, and we must use that code. We must save that code in some template, and we can just run that code each time we need a similar infrastructure. So that is what the AWS cloud formation service provides. So it gives you the option to use the same code, same template multiple times if you want a similar kind of infrastructure. So that is how it is done in AWS. Now the second thing is agility. So as we discussed that DevOps is derived from agile methodology. So it provides you the continuous feedback system. So at each step you'll be getting a feedback that how is your code going. So you can fix if any issues are found within the code, so you can fix it at that point of time. So that saves your time, and that increases the delivery frequency of code. So that is the second thing. And the third thing is auditing and security. So you need to configure the logging and security details while you are deploying the infrastructure in cloud, so that you can tackle through the various security methodologies. Even the AWS itself provides you with the feedback if something goes is not secure in your infrastructure. It will send you a mail that this thing is not secure. You may reconsider your security settings. So that all things is taken care by AWS. Apart from that, for auditing you can use services like CloudTrail, where you will store your logs and you can just revisit your logs to find if anything is wrong with the security. Or you can use penetration testing. You need to request to AWS for scheduling the penetration testing. You can use some third party tools, security tools to do a scan on your infrastructure and give get all the details of your infrastructure. So these are the things that will be easy if you use AWS, which you can say that infrastructure as a code environment. So these are the benefits of having that. Now let's discuss about automation and configuration management. So we have some tools like provisioning tools and configuration tools. So for in provisioning we have CloudFormation, Elastic Beanstalk, Opsworks for provisioning. In configuration we have tools like third-party tools like Chef, Puppet, Salt, and Ansible. So these things will be very much helpful in meeting the DevOps goals. So DevOps tools consist of configuration management, test and build system, application deployment, version control, and monitoring tools. Continuous integration, continuous delivery, and continuous deployment requires different tools. While all three practices can use the same tools, you will need more tools as you progress through the delivery chain. So, we briefly discussed some of the tools used in DevOps, and some more tools which will come in the practices later are like source code repository. The source code repository is a place where developers check in and change code. The source code repository manages the various versions of code that are checked in, so developers don't write over each other's work. Source code has probably been around for 40 years, but its major component of continuous integration. Popular, popular source code repository tools are like Git, Subversion, CloudForce, Bitbucket, and TFS. Now, the build server. The build server is an automation tool that compiles the code in the source code repository into executable code base. And some popular tools are like Jenkins, SonarQube, and Artifactory. Now, the configuration management. Configuration management defines the configuration of a server or an environment. So, popular configuration management tools are Puppet and Chef. So this concludes the continuous integration and continuous deployment tools introduction. So thank you for listening.